Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at a PS3 that I got on eBay that when I power it on, I get the yellow light of death. So it goes green, yellow, blinking red. So I'm assuming that that's the yellow light of death. In this video, I'm going to try to repair it using the, I believe it's the TOKIN Cap repair fix. So basically what that is that there was a thread that came out recently online, more like a year ago. I'll leave all the links down below, in which a few people found out that you can replace a few caps instead of reflowing or reballing the console, and that would usually revive it. So as you see here, I bought, I believe, 32 caps on eBay. That's what it's called, the PS3 NEC TOKIN Yellow Light of Death Repair Kit Cap. They're 470 UF 6.3 volts SMD capacitors. It only cost me, as you see there, $40. And basically what I want to do with them is remove one cap from the bottom of the PS3 and replace it with 4 of those. So I bought 32 because there's technically 8 caps, but you want to start off with 1 on the RSX side. If that doesn't work, do another, and then do the bottom 2 near the cell, and then do the top ones. But I'm going to leave the guide to everything down below because it does get a bit finicky to figure it out. But from here on out, we're just going to take it apart and get right on into it. So for this part, all we need are a Phillips screwdriver. So I have 2 of them, a bigger one and a smaller one, just in case of smaller screws, and a tweezer to pull out any screws that kind of get stuck in there. So yeah, let's just start taking this bad boy apart. Alright, so now that we have the console apart, this is the PS3 motherboard. So if we flip it around to the, I guess, underside, you should see that there are the caps under the this like black colored tape. So the cell is on the left side with all the little caps under it, and the RSX is on the white side with no opening, so that's where we're going to focus. So basically, if you pull this tape off, you will see that there are 2 caps. In the guide, it says we should focus on the right cap. So that's the one I'm going to focus on. And if that doesn't work, then we focus on the left cap. So what I'm going to do is replace the right cap. So one of the many things I'm going to try in this video is using low melt solder to try and get it under the chip and heat it right off. Alright, so we're going to grab some flux, apply it to the chip all around, just because I feel like flux is good to keep the solder flowing, not overheat stuff, just get it going, you know, a little bit nicer. So I'm going to apply some flux all around it. I have my soldering iron heated to 850 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to grab some low melt solder and just feed it in on all 4 sides. I will let you know right now that I did feed it a lot of solder and it's not going to work. So at this point here, I literally gave up with the soldering iron. It, like I said, did not work at all. I'm going to turn on my heating station, set it to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and heat it with that. So this was the interesting part. While heating it, it wasn't moving. These caps are just really thick. So I decided to take another pair of tweezers and kind of just see if I could like pry it off. I did end up breaking the top layer, and you will see that I begin to peel it literally like an onion. So these caps literally have a lot of layers that you can peel through. What I'd recommend is just get in there and break it. As long as you don't break the traces, it literally does not matter. I'm literally going to break this chip in tiny pieces, peel it off, and then you just feed the 4 legs on each side. So there's a positive and negative on both sides. Just feed it a lot of solder to get any remaining gunk and pieces off of it, and you'll literally be good to go. It's just not worth it to try soldering it off or heating it, because those traces run the whole chip. So now to do that part that I was talking about, I'm going to give these 4 traces that were under the chip some flux, and I'm going to hit it with lead-free solder and just clean it up. You just want it as clean as possible and remove any debris under there so there's no shorting or any of that stuff. But the traces came out perfectly fine when I pried off the chip. They're not going to get damaged at all, so you don't even have to worry about that. So now that we have everything cleaned up, now's the time to install those new caps. I'm going to apply some flux. As I said, flux is your friend. It will literally make this job easier. And yeah, just apply flux like there's nobody's business. You can always clean it up. So once I apply flux on the top, I'm going to do 2 and 2. So I'm going to do the top 2 caps and the bottom 2 caps. So I'm going to leave a link. Basically, there's this little like nub on the cap, or like a line going through it. That's your positive. So on the top row, it's your positive on top, negative on bottom. And you just kind of have to figure out how to space it apart, because I'm going to be quite honest with you. It looks like there's a lot of space, but these caps can't go on straight, because if they do, then it won't really make connection with the negative. So you have to kind of turn it slanted. And that kind of gave me a lot of issues because there wasn't space. So I kind of soldered on one leg first, and then I soldered on the other leg, but it does kind of move around. So I would say solder one of these caps on first, try to figure out your spacing, and then you're going to have to solder on the second cap the same way. I did have some bridging with my negative grounds on the caps, and it didn't seem to cause any issue. I would say the same thing probably happened with my positives also on the other cap, but it's all fine. It all seemed to work perfectly well. I'm just trying to reposition it because it looks like I don't have enough space for the positive. So it's just very finicky. Take your time, try to make sure they're lined up correctly and whatnot. And yeah, just solder 2 at a time and make sure you follow the guide so you have your positives and negative correct. All right, so I got all 4 soldered on. It looks a bit messy and not clean. And as you can see, you could probably notice that there's like a little bridging going on, but it's fine. At this point, I just want to clean it all up and put it back together to see if it'll work or not. To clean it, use you can use IPA, isopropyl alcohol, 75, 95, whatever you have for alcohol. Just give it some rub down, put back on that sticker if you kept it. If not, maybe get some electrical tape and put it on it, just so you don't want any shorting, because you'll see what's gonna happen later on in this video. All right, I got it back together as best as I can for now. I just want to see if power comes. We'll press power. Green. Still yellow. Still yellow. So from here, since it's still yellow, that means that I have to change more than those 4. So I'm just gonna keep changing. So I ended up, as you guys see there, replacing the second chip on the RSX. So now we have 8 going across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And yeah, it wasn't fun at all. As you see, it does look a little bit messy, but if it works, it works. Let's power it on and check it out. Alright, let's power it on. And yes, there we have it. Looks like it's gonna power on. It's not gonna last long because I don't have it soldered correctly. As you guys see, I don't have the brackets on, and I also literally ran out of thermal paste when I just put it in the shell to test it, but it looks like it's gonna power on. So like I stated, all I did was swap 8 of these. So now that I'm kinda can verify that it works, I'm probably gonna tape this up because I don't want it to short on the metal. Get some new thermal paste, slap it all together, and see how long this lasts. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it down below. As you see, blinking red light is just blinking because it's overheating. As you heard, the fan went crazy because I don't have enough thermal paste. But if you guys want to find out more about this repair, if it worked, if it lasts long, just leave it in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.